Today we're taking a look at the San Antonio Spurs vs Cleveland Cavaliers match, which is happening on Monday, April 5, 2021 at 7:05 p.m., and giving you my betting tips and predictions in general on this game. Welcome back to High Stakes. Let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. NBA basketball Monday night has 7 games on the card. At 6 p.m. CT in San Antonio, the Cavaliers from Cleveland get set to take battle against the host Spurs. Cleveland last played on Saturday when they took on the Philadelphia 76ers from home and lost 114-94 to extend their latest losing streak to 5 games. San Antonio has had all the fun lately going into overtime on their last 2 contests. Last time out for San Antonio, they hosted Indianapolis on Saturday to only come up short 139-133 in OT. In the Spurs game prior to the Pacers on Thursday, they went into double overtime against the Atlanta Hawks to only come up short in the second overtime period 134-129. Can San Antonio bounce back with a win at home over the tanking Cavaliers on Monday night? Cleveland continued its slide on Thursday night, dropping its 5th straight game 115-101 versus the Miami Heat. Colin Sexton scored a team-high 26 points while rookie Isaac Okoro chipped in 17 points for the Cavaliers in the loss. Cleveland trailed by 13 points at halftime and shot just 10 for 31 from three-point range on the night. The Cleveland Cavaliers need a win here to snap a 5-game losing streak. The Cleveland Cavaliers are averaging 102.7 points on 44.8% shooting and allowing 111.2 points on 47.9% shooting. Colin Sexton is averaging 24 points and 2.9 rebounds, while Darius Garland is averaging 16.2 points and 5.8 assists. Jarrett Allen is the third double-digit scorer, and Sadie Osman is grabbing 3.3 rebounds. The Cleveland Cavaliers are shooting 33.8% from beyond the arc and 72.8% from the free throw line. The Cleveland Cavaliers are allowing 38.5% shooting from deep and are grabbing 42.8 rebounds per game. After Gonzaga's Jalen Suggs garnered the national spotlight following his Final Four buzzer beater, Aaron Goldhammer, a Cleveland sports talk show host, suggested the team draft Suggs despite their current backcourt jam. Shortly after, Cavaliers insider Sam Amico responded with a bombshell, sharing his hunch that point guard Darius Garland won't be in Cleveland beyond his current rookie deal. The 21-year-old was the number 5 overall pick in the 2019 draft and has flashed progress during his sophomore season, averaging 16.2 points and 5.8 assists per game while playing alongside Sexton. According to DunksandThrees.com, Cleveland has actually been much worse than its current 17-32 overall record might indicate. The Cavaliers rank dead last in the NBA with an adjusted net rating of 7.8, and they have been the league's worst defensive team. The San Antonio Spurs are overall and in 8th place in the Western Conference. At home, the Spurs have a record of while the Cavaliers are in road games this year. Since the matchup between these two teams in March, the Spurs have played in 9 games since, but have only won 2 of those 9 games. One win was against the Sacramento Kings, and the other against the Chicago Bulls. Some of the losses have been to teams with losing records. The Pacers were red hot from the floor, shooting 55%. It didn't help that the Spurs turned it over 17 times. DeMar DeRozan led the Spurs with 25 points while Keldon Johnson had a double-double with 20 points and 10 rebounds. DeJounte Murray also had 20 points with 5 assists. The San Antonio Spurs have been in rough shape lately as they've lost 7 of their past 9 games, and they will be hoping to avoid a 3rd straight defeat after falling just short to the Pacers in a 139-133 overtime loss on Saturday. DeMar DeRozan led the team with 25 points and 6 assists. Keldon Johnson and DeJounte Murray each scored 20 points while Derek White chipped in with 18 points. As a team, the Spurs shot 48% from the field and 10 of 29 from the three-point line as they poured in 67 points in the second half to rally back from an 11-point deficit, only to go ice cold in the overtime period where they managed just 7 points. In the most recent defeat in overtime against the Pacers, Indy was missing 4 key players and were underdogs against the Spurs. Prior to that, the Spurs were a 1-point favorite to Atlanta, who was under .500 at the time, and the Spurs again lost in overtime. Some would say with a 9-point spread to cover at home, the advantage lies with Cleveland tonight and not the home team Spurs. The San Antonio Spurs used 7 players that averaged double figures in scoring. Despite having numerous players in double figures, the Spurs have had times of offensive inconsistency. DeMar DeRozan leads the way with 21.1 points and 7.2 assists. DeJounte Murray had 22 against the Cavs last time and is averaging 15.7 points per game to go with 7 assists and 5.2 rebounds per game. Derek White has been a pleasant surprise this year for the Spurs, averaging 14.3 points per game. San Antonio also gets contributions from Keldon Johnson, Patty Mills, Lonnie Walker, and Rudy Gay. So here are my betting suggestions for that game. The Cavaliers are 7-19 ATS in their last 26 road games, 15-35-1 ATS in their last 51 games against a team with a winning record, and 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games overall. The Spurs are 2-6 ATS in their last 8 home games and 2-6 ATS in their last 8 games overall. Head-to-head, the over is 18-7-1 in the last 26 meetings overall, and the over is 10-2 in the last 12 meetings in San Antonio. The Cavs had been playing well before this stretch and crawled back into play in contention, but this recent string of 5 straight losses has doused any hopes they may have had of making a late run. They're young and they'll still play hard, but make no mistake, they are headed to lottery land. Plus, the Cavs are banged up with both Jarrett Allen and Larry Nance questionable for Monday's game at San Antonio. The Spurs have suffered brutal back-to-back overtime losses, so they badly need this one before they head out on a long, difficult road trip. My first betting advice for that game is to pick San Antonio -9. Cavaliers are 1-4 ATS in their last 5 when their opponent scores 100 points or more in their previous game. Cavaliers are 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games overall. Cavaliers are 1-4 ATS in their last 5 when their opponent allows 100 points or more in their previous game. Spurs are 25-22 ATS this season. The Cavaliers are 7-19 ATS in their last 26 road games and 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games overall. The Spurs are 2-6 ATS in their last 8 home games and 2-6 ATS in their last 8 games overall. The under is 6-1 in Cavaliers' last 7 overall. The over is 4-1 in Spurs' last 5 overall. The over is 10-2 in the last 12 meetings in San Antonio and 18-7-1 in the last 26 meetings. My second betting advice for that game is to pick over 216. Good luck to all of you. That's it for this video. Stay tuned and stay safe for the next betting tips and advice.